you told me 5 years ago that I'll be sitting by the pool with a drink in my hand on a weekday afternoon chilling, I'll tell you, that's impossible! You must be insane! You are dreaming! Why? Because 5 years ago, I was extremely stressed and burnt out emotionally, physically, and mentally. In this video, we'll share you the 5 signs of burnout at work, and this is based on our own personal experience as corporate employees for the last 15 years.
Hi, we are Fred and John, the corporate breakout couple. We retired in 2020 at the age of 40 years old in Singapore. Do like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as it will help with the YouTube algorithm to do more videos like this for you.
When my friends from Malaysia found out I was working on Orchard Road, they envied me. They thought it was super cool that I was working amongst the luxurious malls. So behind me used to be my first office when I first came to Singapore. Now Orchard Road is the famous shopping belt of Singapore, and I hated working here because from Mondays to Fridays, instead of shopping, I came here to work, right? And on the weekends, my friends want to hang out in Orchard Road, and I'm just so sick and tired of it. I didn't want to. Working at Orchard Road was indeed an unpleasant experience for me. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my colleagues and we had a lot of fun, but I could feel it in my body when I physically went to work. I could feel that there was a reluctance, there was a sense of dread. I could feel myself getting very moody and angsty on a daily basis, and little things would frustrate me. Unfortunately, I took this negative behavior back home. So it affected my relationships with the people I was staying with, aka my housemates, my friends, and my relatives.
Every day as I am getting ready to go to work, I stare at the mirror and wonder why I'm doing what I'm doing. There's this emptiness inside me that I can't explain, and it causes me to feel frustrated almost every day. I was feeling very unaccomplished, and there's this loss of purpose for me. That was more than 10 years ago, and I wasn't aware that this feeling of weariness was actually burnout.
At the peak of my burnout, I was working 12 to 14 hours a day, 6 days a week, and there was a sense of hopelessness inside me. It was a horrible feeling, and at that point, I could not see any bright sparks in my life. The turning point was when I couldn't even recognize who I had become, because usually I'm a very sunny and cheerful person. Thankfully, I had a lot of friends and family who loved and supported me, so I made the decision to switch companies. Looking back, I've identified what my coping mechanism was. So different people will have different coping mechanisms, and mine was to surround myself with friends and going out every single night. On weekday nights, I'll go for drinking sessions with my colleagues and sometimes my friends who are available. And on the weekends, I'll go for long shopping sessions, high teas, afternoon teas, and also drinking sessions as well. So obviously this lifestyle isn't healthy, and I'll often feel very drained and tired the next day and for several days after. And so obviously my bank account took a hit as well because I was spending so much money. By running away and doing all these things, it actually didn't help because it added more stress to my emotional health, my physical health, and my finances as well.
One of my main coping mechanisms with work was to travel frequently. I travel out of the country every 1 to 2 months so that I can break away from my daily cycle. Every time I come back from one of my holidays, I find myself sitting down at work usually, booking for my next holiday almost immediately. What I didn't realize back then was that my main reason for taking leave and traveling out of the country was actually to run away. I wanted to escape from reality, from work, and ultimately the rat race. This understanding came much later after I broke free from the corporate 9 to 5 rat race, that when I was traveling then, it wasn't my main priority to go and see the world, but what I was doing was actually to run away first. I'm here at my old workplace where I spent 4 years of my corporate life. Well, this place brings back a lot of memories. I made a lot of good friends during my time here. But what I also remember are a lot of late nights, a lot of many days of working on tender bids because I was in sales where I didn't get to go home. So I would say my work-life balance during then was terrible. Now I'm very fortunate not having to work in a corporate job anymore since I retired 2 years ago. But I can truly appreciate now with COVID and more people are working from home, that is a norm now, that the balance between work and personal life is getting harder to juggle because work actually goes into your daily life while you are at home. And burnout is a real issue nowadays. I have ex-colleagues and friends who are suffering from burnout and some of them even having depression. It's really not worth it. Work-life balance is a very important part of your life and you need to know how to draw the line. So remember, work is not everything, it's just a small part of your life. Don't let it control you. I have to be honest, for me, my experience of the corporate world is a cold and emotionless atmosphere. With a lot of political agendas floating around, I was forced to play the political game everywhere I go. And the result was I became this cold and emotionless machine and I almost lost all human elements of how to connect with my emotions. This drove me further into burnout without realizing it.
So as human beings, it is normal to have emotions which are high and low. However, the problem lies is when your emotions are always at a low. And I noticed this when there was one point in my life where I didn't want to do anything at all and I was very emotionless and listless, and all I wanted to do on my weekends and on my days where I come home from work was that I just want to stay at home and I want to lock myself in a room and I just wanted to be by myself. I found myself declining invitations from my friends to go out and I would just order in and watch TV. At one point in my life, I was in very poor physical health. I was falling sick a lot and for days. So I took a lot of medical leave and I didn't go to the gym at all, so I was in a very bad shape. And of course, one of my coping mechanisms was to eat, and I ate a lot of junk food. I simply ate, I didn't watch my diet. So that played a very big part in the decline of my physical health. Everyone feels burnout differently. I distinctly remember 10 years ago, I was telling my boss that I was feeling very tired, and her response was she told me to go home early and sleep. Don't sleep late. I explained to her that it wasn't a physical tiredness, but it's more of an internal tiredness that I felt. At that time, I didn't have the vocabulary to explain it well to her. But now I do. It's actually the emotional weariness inside of me because I wasn't passionate about the work that I was doing at that time. No amount of sleep was going to be enough. When your being is not aligned with your emotions, that is when burnout happens. In order to be fulfilled in one's life, the emotional, physical, and spiritual alignment must be there. This means that in whatever work that you do, you must find a purpose, be happy doing it, and this is where you'll find contentment and fulfillment. If you're experiencing one or more of the signs of burnout, do take a break, be kind to yourself, and talk to someone that you trust.
Check in with yourself regularly and share your feelings with your loved ones and friends so that they can support you on this.
Let's start 2023 by being kind to yourself, being kind to one another, and supporting one another.
Do like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel as it will help us to create more videos like this for you.